Alrighty, guys. It is 3:30. Time to wrap it up for today. This is one crazy day again. As I said, last update, massive sell-off. We took out our support areas. I mean, this is the pull up this guy and this guy, our F1, and it is nothing but crazy town. We started off this morning thinking. Range bound, we were favoring the short side. But hard to say if they're going to try to retest the lows or head higher. I made a point out of before they can really trade higher. Usually, you're going to get a test of the lows. Yeah, we kind of got the test in C period here. They started heading lower, and it was just nothing but selling. They took out the lows, and they took out everything, and then just look at it. They went all the way down here to that 74, 72.40s. So all these levels just absolutely blown through, and just brutal is what you call that. Like another elevator down day. And now we're taking out some key support in this low volume area. And the next level of support, I mean, really comes later on here. I haven't put on any levels down here, but if anything, I would put a level, like an F1 level in this general area. One about here. Show you. That is where I think they're going to find support next, right? So this will be the area right there. So you start finding support here again, and we'll see if they get that far, and it's going to look pretty brutal because the market is down quite a bit. So pretty much reversed everything we've seen from from April 29th when they started heading higher. So it's the end of April, the entire month of May, all the rallies, all the crazy rally to the upside, complete reversal in 3 sessions. And now it bounced a little bit again. So after you get these crazy sell-offs, you get a nice snapback in that as well, and that's kind of what we're seeing. But I haven't even tried to trade this. You said already this morning, if they take out these support areas, the 7,400, the 73.90s, those comes out. We're going to start thinking short side of the market in a bigger way. And yeah, it's just kind of stay on the short side all the way down here. And after they ran out of gas at 1 o'clock, here's your snapback, and that hasn't really retested the low. So like, they were done selling here at 1 o'clock, and then since then we got a little trickle up. You can see my Nasdaq chart is absolutely pitiful. That's just me, the computer not keeping up. That's why it looks like that. But they are heading higher as well. But the ES is keeping up, and that one is just back up here to the mean, and that's going sideways. So yeah, we have pretty much reverse retesting support right now. This area, the lows from Monday. So from Friday, the lows from Friday is where we are reverse retesting. They ran it a little bit higher than that, now they're backing off. But this is kind of that general area. So that last little run down here on Friday, when it took it lower, that's from that 73.90 all the way down here to the 73.50. This whole area is that a little tail from Friday, and then it started here, took it just a little bit lower, started trading back up on starting Monday or Sunday Monday, and we had this nice little reversal in the overnight on Monday. But and look, then they just reverse retesting it. So we're starting off this range bound bias. It's going to be the downside still. It's pretty darn volatile. So I would just stay in the short side, favor the short side. But you can trade it on either side. Just have to kind of figure out what the big trend is doing. Is it in a general sell-off mode and stay on the short side? If you go start snapping back like it is now, then stay on the long side. And when they start going sideways, you see that because you start getting these, you stop seeing these higher lows. You start seeing more of a back and forth. Then you just go back range bound. I haven't even tried to trade. I took one trade earlier on today on the Nasdaq. Realized that my stop size, and that was even before they started selling, that my stop size was way too small for this. So I didn't want to make these trades big because you get into this stuff and you have to make your trades bigger or your stops bigger. And if you try to repair a trade like that, you'll be down 3 or 4 times the stuff you normally do if you're wrong on it. So that's just kind of painful. There's money to be made for sure, but you had to be able to handle the volatility. Otherwise, stay out of it. And right now, I'm just staying out of it. It's the worst you can do, and then this is what the danger is. At a day like this, you overtrade it, you get too aggressive, you get stuck in a shitty trade, and they run it like like a little run up here. You try to get short at that tablet on the ES at 7,300 over here. and they run it all the way up to 73.50. That's 60 points against you before you get the little counter rotation, and that was barely anything. So no matter how you repair a trade like this, you're going to get yourself run out of that trade, and it will be like a 60-point loser, something like that. That would suck. So stay on the sidelines, waiting for this to come down, and then find some opportunities after that. And when my charts start looking like this on the Nasdaq, even with a new graphics card, then it's like, okay, this is just going too crazy. Now the good news is that the bond market is not doing anything. The bond market is pretty much yawning at this whole thing. That's been staying in a pretty tight range, and as long as it does that, there's nothing fundamental. I think the financials are pretty solid in the background. So this feels very much like a straight up. I haven't traded the bonds today. Hasn't set up the way I usually like to see them. You want to see this if you did well, kind of up over here late in the session, but I don't want to trade it that late in the session when it's barely moving, because you just get stuck twisting in the wind. You want to get that set up reasonably early and then try it from there. Here's your 12:35 rundown. I'm not sure what that was all about. I don't think we had any news there. Let's see. News for, I think they had a 3-year auction at 1. That was about it, but nothing ahead of that. It could be one of those announcements we got, the headlines coming out about the Iranian situation could be part of that as well. Yeah, but nothing going on there at 12:30. So, and going into tomorrow, we're going to get the CPI read. That's going to be interesting. So back to well, a quick touch on the cryptos. I haven't really moved a whole. I've been back and forth all to the downside when it comes to gold, silver. So I haven't traded those today either. The Ethereum and Bitcoin hasn't really moved that much. I've been kind of back and forth. They kind of sold off before this whole thing. But the ES and Nasdaq is the one you want to be at if you want to trade today. They've been moving pretty straight shot down. I mean, if you get on one of those trades and you can ride it a bit, you'll be all smiles. But it's getting on it and staying on it, which is a hard time. And as you can see, the reversal up to the tablet here on the ES, that's a great entry. But that entry, if you look at the high from that prior bar, which is 73.03, up to the high of that bar, which is 7, this is 5 points. This little area right there. So 5 points is my stop size. So you can imagine if you're trying to get short here, it's barely a sneeze on the market, and they shake you out. So you had to trade it kind of 3 times or 4 times that. So and that just puts you in a spot where if you're wrong, then that's going to get shitty for you. So that's the dynamic. Now I wouldn't rebuild my charts just yet. Let it sit for a bit and let everything calm down. Rebuild the chart and get them all sorted out. And there is a lot. I mean, we have 2.1 million traded on the micro ES. We have 3.8 million contracts traded on the micro Nasdaq. That is freaking insane. That's almost twice the volume on today's trading. So anyway, I would stay on the short side, favor the short side. This little run up here feels very much like just a snapback rally, and which it's you want to sell when it's time. Not right now though, but you want to look for a short opportunity. But when it moves like this, you want to take your time and find that good trade location. All right. So there you have it. Now tomorrow morning we get the CPI number coming out at 8:30. We get oil report at 10:30. A 10-year auction at 1. So that's what we got going tomorrow morning. And again, if you can't trade the volatility, just don't do it. Stay on the sideline until things calm down. This kind of market is ripe to take your money. It is just too volatile. And you can be right on the trade, you can be right on the direction, you can be right on most of it. It could be just a little algo somewhere running it up and down enough points to shake you out, which is going to make your life miserable. If you get lucky and you get in on a good trade, fine, take it, right? But if you overtrade it, you will get caught in that, and I would just not recommend it. Anyway, you leave it there, guys. So I'll see you back bright and early in the morning. It's been a crazy day. Hope you made some money. If not, I understand. I just chickened out myself. I wasn't trading this after that first trade on the Nasdaq. I was literally in and out in like 3 seconds. I was up maybe $40 in between. So in, up $40 and out at break even, and then it took off to the downside. It's like, okay, this is crazy. And then I stopped. So And that was back here. I mean, this is the trade I took was way back there as your trade. So when the first leg lower happened, it bounced and they could not take out the low. Looks like they were having a heavy shot at trading back to the mean there. That's why I took a long trade. And that was against support. So that wasn't before they had taken out the key support areas. And then this whole thing started. And that just, well, man, you can see how crazy this got. All righty, guys. So we'll leave it there. I'll see you back in the morning. You guys have a great evening and we'll go at it again. All righty, guys. Later.